Hey guys, this is your demo video for your rock project for our rock garden. This is your legacy project. That means it's going to stay at the school and be a little piece of your own creation that you leave behind, kind of like your mark you leave on the school. So you're going to choose 2 to 4 rocks, and there's going to be some different ones in the rock selection. So I want to talk about that a little bit. There's some ones that are recycled from last year. So those will have white paint on the bottom. Okay, that's just covering the names of the people that were before. And then some of them are painted, like this one has a little bit of green on it left over. And then some of them are not painted at all. And then you're also going to have just regular rocks that don't have anything on them. If you get one of these, you need to take it to the sink, scrub it off with the sponge, and then dry it really well. You're going to want a Sharpie so you can write your name on it. If you have one of the ones that's a recycled one, just write it on the white part. First and last would be wonderful. And then your teacher letter, like H, C, or L. And then you want to choose where you want your rock to sit first and what side you want to paint on, then decide where to put your name. So you're going to have all different shapes and sizes, and some might look more like fish, some might look more like just good services for landscapes, or whatever you would like to do. Either your own creative design or something from the slideshow, or if you were inspired from the slideshow or the video, then that's what I would want you to use. We're going to stick with an ocean theme, so you're doing something, or at least a water theme. So something that has to do with, it could be the beach, it could be something that's saltwater fish, freshwater, something that has to do with that. If you have any other ideas of something that was not on the slideshow, I would love if you would come and talk to me about it so that we can discuss what you can do, what you can't do. I don't want you making anything and then just putting it out there and someone's like, what in the world is that doing there? So we're going to use acrylic paints, and we've used these last year on wind chimes, but you know that I need to pour them for you. So I don't want you just going up and getting the paint for yourself. For one, they're very expensive, and for another, it's just there's so many of you, and that way I can kind of control what's going on with the paints, and so we don't have any major accidents or anything. Not that I don't trust you, it's just easier for me that way. So I went ahead and got lots of different colors just for the demonstration, but you guys will probably just want to start with a couple of colors. And if you want to share a palette with somebody, that's fine too. I also will have a lot of extra leftover palettes from other 5th grade and 4th grade that are working on their wind chimes. So I would love it if you would reuse those and use up all the paint in those first. So after you've decided which side to put your name on, then you're going to decide to do one of 2 things. You're going to either paint it all solid one color, or you're going to just draw on the rock itself and then paint the design that you drew. So take my palette here, and I'm going to go ahead and paint this one just a solid color. I'm not going to do this one because it's dirty and needs to be cleaned, but I'll do these 2. Alright, if you want to use a larger brush, that's probably a better idea. You definitely need a bucket of water, or a little water cup is good to have. I'm going to go ahead and make this one all blue. And this is one of the ones that actually was previously painted, and I actually like washed it off, which you can do with like a little paper towel with some water and wash some of that paint off, but you could always just paint on top of the color that's there anyway. It's not a big deal. Alright, so you want to set that to the side and let that dry. There's a couple of fans that I have. You can set that in front of the fan and let the fan dry it. It shouldn't take really long. Acrylics actually dry pretty fast, typically. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I wanted to do with it. So I'm going to pick a design. I decided to go with the jellyfish. So I'm going to draw that on here. And it might be actually very hard for you guys to see it on the video, but I can see it just fine on the actual rock that's in front of me. So, and instead of just a jellyfish, I think I'll do like maybe some bubbles. And I don't have to draw those on. I could just paint them when it comes to it. So I'm gonna wash my brush really good because I'm gonna not do my jellyfish in blue. I'm gonna wipe it on the edge and then I think go for a pink jellyfish. And you really want to make sure you get a lot of the water out of your brush, because if you don't, you're gonna end up with a watery mess like I kind of actually have right now. Okay, anyway, if you just paint a lot of these colors on, it's gonna look very transparent, so which means very see-through. So you want to make sure that you might even add a little bit of like white in there. White typically makes things more opaque or less see-through. Okay, a little vocab for you. And then I'm actually going to switch to my other littler brush, which there are these all different sizes of the little brushes. They come in all different sizes too. So really washing my brush good, and then I'm going to go to my other one, and this one's a little bit smaller, it's a little bit better of a shape. And I'm going to go in with that one and do my little tentacles because I can get them a little bit finer detail. A lot of these rocks, it's going to take you using these teeny tiny brushes, but you know, it's good for your muscles in your hands to learn how to do small things. It is really good to train your muscles in your hands, and you know, your brain and eye coordination. It all has good purpose for doing this. Okay, and then I'm gonna come in, and I think I'm gonna give him a little face, because you don't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be super serious. You want these to be fun, so you can add a little, couple eyes, little mouth, and there's your cute little jellyfish. All right, now my bubbles, I'm gonna actually use this brush again, because it's a really nice little detail brush. Grab my white. And again, you guys only want a couple of colors, so if you guys want to share with somebody else, it's a really good idea. All right, so very simple little rock design. I mean, that's not too complicated. He's not really that messy or anything. So I'm gonna set this guy, because he's done. I'm gonna set him on the tray that I will provide for you. All right, looks like this one is pretty dry enough to paint on. All right, so after I paint my basic coat, then I'm gonna go ahead and draw in my design and idea. So with pencil. So I'm gonna do like a sea kelp thing, I think. Okay, so I've got my sea kelp and my fish and some bubbles, and I'm just gonna keep it really basic. I could actually add another little fish over here, make you swim in the opposite direction. It's still fairly basic. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my green, and a good idea, I know I said not to add don't get a lot of water in your brush, but a little water to mix your paints is actually a good thing, because the acrylics are just so thick that it's better to add water so that they can spread onto the rock surface a little smoother. All right, and there you have a little underwater scene. Really simple. And then once that's done, you just put it on the tray, and then you're good. So I did 2. You only have to do 2. You don't have to do more. But if you wanted to, you can. You're more than welcome to. So when you're done, make sure you clean your brushes really good. Like, not just in your cup, like under the sink and in your palm of your hand into the water, getting all of that paint out of there. Also a good idea, I have a tablecloth underneath, but you guys will not. So you need to get either probably just a paper towel, or I could give you a little paper plate to put underneath it. That would make it much easier. All right, and that's basically all you need. Let me know if you have any questions when we're in class. Thanks.